It is important that I go way out of my way to get the message out. The first clip I will show you is the green one. It's from the end of the year 2011, and I posted it early 2012 on one of my older channels like Wu Chan or Ming Wu or something. The next clip in the white gi is from January 29th, 2014, a month and 9 days after my last top martial artist challenge, the $3,000 challenge. The clip with the rap music and the black gi is from 2015. So you see, they were well aware that I was much better, that I am much better than they are, even drugged. So they stepped up their cheating. That's part of the reason why they have been drugging me relentlessly, consistently, and harassing me. People who are better than other people do not feel the need to cheat. I've made my challenge fair, and it's even recorded. I don't feel the slightest urge to cheat, so help me God. But they feel a great desire to cheat. They're red-faced, pale, sweaty, completely cowardly, just sniveling cowards that cheat. They have no faith in themselves. That's part of the problem with the opposition view liberals. They don't truly have faith. They might say, we have faith in our human potential. Then why do you cheat all the time? Why do you lie all the time? No, you don't have faith. You're weak. You're despicable. And anyone who lowers themselves to the level of being some kind of Democrat, some kind of controlled liberal, is despicable as well. Let's look at this and see why they chose to sabotage the top martial artist, shall we? Hiding like bitches.
Late 2011, reposted on several channels.
So this one is January 29th. This is a month and 9 days after my top martial artist challenge. This is why they chose to cheat. This is why the covert drugging and the psych meds. This is why they did everything they could to slow me down and cheat me out of my rightful place in society.
This is January 29, 2014, before I'm being drugged. Let's go. Shoot my fans. I actually go to the side.
This one is from July as well.
In case you're wondering, the stop clock, excuse me, the watch wasn't enough, so I'm going to a stop clock to help see the nuances between the fractions of seconds.
That is top martial artist material. I'm proud of that one. Hopefully the playback doesn't have any problems.
In case you're wondering, the stop clock, excuse me, the watch wasn't enough, so I'm going to a stop clock to help see the nuances between the fractions of seconds.
Seconds out. I could have conquered my enemies with my fist or with a blade in a split second, like 0.1 second. The New World Order is liberal. Part of the game they are playing is making you think that it is a conservative elite doing this, and that the liberals are the revolutionaries that are trying to save you from them. Look at the trajectory and ask yourselves, do social scientists just do things in a half-assed manner? Do social architects or social engineers? Or is this a carefully planned, long-term agenda that is being brought incrementally at certain rates, calculations, death rates, immigration rates? If the New World Order was conservative, they would have built a wall a long time ago and would have allocated a correct amount of money to closing the border. Instead, they are expanding and bringing in immigrants. This has created a changing demographic in America. Social scientists have plotted out the New World Order. They are Masons who are philosophers and scientists and their allies, and all the groups that have sprung from Masonry. In fact, liberalism, I believe, came in the 19th century. Liberalism as we know it. And it, on record, came from the Age of Enlightenment and Freemasonry. On record, mainstream history. So liberals, on record, are a controlled movement that is an offshoot and an ally of Masonry. So as you can see, people, we are living in dangerous times where the biggest threat to the New World Order has always been and will always be black militants. That's why it is called the Negro problem and the final solution. Hitler and the white elitists were concerned with the Jewish problem and the Negro problem. Mental illness, that's why they did eugenics, and political dissidence. And they said, we're going to bring in a final solution. And they discussed this with psychiatrists, psychologists, chemists, social planners, and people in secret societies. Let's face it, the New World Order must be liberal. Satan is, quote unquote, the liberator of women, gays, and people who are oppressed, so according to them, by God's policies and the morality in the Bible. And of course, the resulting society and social pressures and the social unacceptance, if you will, the social rejection and dejection, the social shunning that comes as a result of Christian morality on certain groups of people. Now, if you can expand the definition and the scope of the victims of Christianity, if you will, then you can ally people against the Christian establishment and bring in a new world order. That's what it is. Look at Weishaupt. Destroyed established religion, right? And what is the biggest religion in the world? Christianity. Then Islam, okay? Destroying established religion. And even the people in Israel, right? The satanic Jews, they're not really Jews by religion. They self-identify as Jews, but they are really Satanists in sheep's clothing. Beware of the fake Jews who are really of the synagogue of Satan. Paraphrasing, this is who they are. They are Satanists by definition. They are scientific Satanists. They are social scientists. They are scientific racists. They are social Darwinists. And not only Galton, but Darwin was also a racist. Look it up. This is how it is, people. And I'm being shunned for telling you the truth about it. Especially since feminism is on their agenda. They say, well, men are oppressing us, especially these white Christian men with their white privilege. Usually they leave out the word Christian, but they attack all the morality. This is a very clever ploy. It's political maneuvering, right? When taking on a bigger group of people that you want to break down scientifically and incrementally, you don't identify the enemy as Christians, because then people say, oh, you're talking about me? In that case, fuck you. But instead you say, well, these oppressors who are homophobic and misogynist. You say these people who don't want women to have sovereignty over their body, instead of saying these Christians whose religion teaches them, that being a female challenging God and religion is wrong, abortion is wrong, homosexuality is wrong. They attack it that way. And then they say, well, we'll do this also. We'll infiltrate the church. We'll make women priests and men nuns and women pastors and try to make a female pope. We'll start our own Christian branches. We'll make homosexuality acceptable and say, well, that was lost in translation, and a bunch of homophobic white Christians are responsible for that in the face of changing demographics. I will now assert that feminists are white privileged and Jewish privileged women, and they trickle down, you know, the rewards of siding with the New World Order to all of their allies, okay? They do not care about your race. They are scientific racists, and their eugenic policies soft kill and murder colored people, especially black people, disproportionately. They do not care. What they care about is political clout and power. In the face of changing demographics, they need to side with the people that they are soft killing. And it's very sad that a lot of house niggas on the left are letting them do it. It's very much in your face. It's like, look, they're killing you. They're getting you to abort your babies. They're getting you dependent on the government, right? And you think because you get more welfare or something that they're on your side? As long as you're not getting paid a decent living wage, you're more likely to abort your children. These are fucking liberals. Liberalism is the baby of Freemasonry. So is the Illuminati. Conservatism was always there. It is the establishment conserving their cultures and consolidating their power. What you see is a power struggle between people who were rich and hypocrites, who had a superior philosophy, and their political adversaries who are rich and hypocritical, who have an inferior philosophy. And those with an inferior philosophy are called Masons. And they're pseudoscientists, and they use falsification, fabrication, and propagating despicable falsehoods to convince you that science is correct. They use the moon landing, quote-unquote, hoax to play out Christians. Say, oh, you're one of those people who think that we never landed on the moon. You're one of those people who think the earth is flat, you hate women, and you're homophobic. When really, Christians create the best people in society. Period. Hands down. You know, you wouldn't compare a good Christian to some baby-killing feminist, right? I mean, it's just a no-brainer. You know, or some sick gay guy with a rainbow thong, you know, holding hands in front of little kids in downtown San Francisco. You know, it's just, I mean, you wouldn't even begin to compare these sick liberal scoundrels to good Christian people. So all you really see is on the top level, and it affects us all. There is a battle that the few conservative elitists who are still around are losing dramatically between the growing liberal movement of the world, which includes neocons such as Trump, who put, you know, are you for gay rights and feminism, you know, in the screening tests that he proposes for immigrants, okay? So they're not only bringing in more immigrants, which are almost by default going to be Democrats, right? They are trying to make sure that they have a state of mind and philosophies that are compatible with liberalism. So in order to keep society from getting together, you know, and focusing on the rich, they are going to divide the Liberal Party between the Green Party, the Libertarians, the Democratic Party, the Communist Party, and so on. Watch, you're going to see that I'm right. So I'm being fucking gang-stalked. I'm a brain surgeon fucking son, okay? I want to talk about expert power. You know, I'm a software engineer. You know, we might call it a computer scientist. It's not entirely accurate, but okay. I understand fucking scientists. They have a stick up their ass. They think they know best. And they always, always, always take shots at Christians. And there's a small group of Christian scientists who are full of fucking resentment. But some of these quote-unquote Christian scientists are really Masons, and they're scientists first and Christians second. And they believe in the philosophy of science, and Masons have manipulated things in order to help them out. Masonry is a secret society that takes in people from different cultures, pagan cultures, different political movements, different religions, different nations, and they work together to prop them up. They're globalists. I'm going to tell you some secrets, some tricks of the trade to help you get more respect in your community, and we're going to use our network of millions of people to vote you into being the president. And this is mainstream history. We know the Masons on record are responsible for the Age of Enlightenment. We know that Abraham Lincoln, on record, Google it, said that he didn't want to be a Mason before becoming president because he did not want people to think that the only reason he became president was because of because he was a Mason. So he was planning to become a Mason afterwards. Now think about the deeper implications of that. There's two things that screams. One, that being a Mason is being a cheating little bitch, right? He's like, I don't want people to think I'm a cheating little bitch like all these Freemasons out there who don't deserve their position but got there because they're a Mason. And two, that this happens all the time and it's a recognized form of being a cheating little bitch. Gang stalkers are gang snitches. Secret societies are cheating societies. And I'm a man of honor! Well, I'd like to thank the few people who believed in me. There wasn't many of you, but you're out there. You believed that I had what it takes, and now there were at about 4 months and 2 days. It's going to be over before you can imagine. I've truly made it. I've accomplished more in life than I ever would have dreamed of. I remember back, as a child watching cartoons, from He-Man to Superman cartoons or, things of this nature. If you would have told me, you know what, you're going to be an actor when you grow up and you're going to make a lot of money and have a lot of women, I would have been like, yes, I can't wait. If you would have told me you're going to be a basketball player, I would have said, I could definitely see that. I have a talent for that. It sounds like a lot of work, a lot of training, a lot of people watching me, and a lot of pressure. But, I'm excited. If you would have told me you're going to be the super rich person and people are going to follow you, I would have said, cool. But there's one thing that would have definitely trumped them all by far. If you would have said you are going to be the top martial artist, a more righteous man than Martin Luther King, to the point where your own people are jealous, siding with whites and Jews. They're trying to say that you're crazy, and they're running intense psych ops on you and drugging you every day. I would have said, wow, that is the greatest honor one can be. I much prefer that to being president. That is true honor. Some of you may doubt this. You should really ask my parents, for those of you gang stalkers collaborating with my parents. Did your son say he wanted to be a ninja when he grew up? He didn't want to be a basketball player, an actor. Those things were cool, but he wanted to be a ninja. And I have passed that. I am the top martial artist. I could cut through, 10 of the top ninjas in the world in no time. I am the top martial artist in American history. And I could not be more proud of myself. The best decision I've ever made in my life was to make videos and to include my martial arts challenge. Now I have done what no other martial artist ever has. And I will have done it for 3 years and 4 months and about 2 days from when you hear this video. True victory, true honor, true virtue. And I accept all the hate and all the shunning. This is part of the glory. In our society, when you truly reach greatness, and your enemies are afraid to even accept your challenge because all they have is hiding behind mainstream misconceptions. And they can't give you the opportunity to beat any more people when you're already 100-0. That is true victory. What I am experiencing is the highest form of victory, honor, and success. And I'm so proud of myself. I'm so proud I didn't break my oath. I didn't back down. I've done everything right. Very few mistakes along the way. All of them more than understandable. I am something so great that women aren't even smart enough to date. I did it drugged and fumed. It came to the point where I didn't even care if I'm drugged or fumed. I was so good. I didn't have to go out of my way to make sure I wasn't drugged or fumed. I didn't move out in a hurry, in a panic. I was like, so what? I'm so much better than the rest of you. You are lessers. All you opposition martial artists, you're lessers. You're liberal and conservative scum. I'm a man of God. And I've achieved what you will never achieve. Even if you had 100 lives each, not a single one of you would be able to achieve what I have. How many actors are there? How many presidents have there been? How many basketball players are there? There's only one top martial artist in American history. There's only one that has done what I've done, which completely destroys whatever they've accomplished. I think being a movie star like Bruce Lee is better than having all the opposition hiding while you're drugged and fumed and sabotaged. It gets no better than that. I mean, truly ask yourselves. This isn't some bitch shit like the Olympics for a privileged few, that use their social network to represent the country. This is something open to everyone. No cheating allowed, and it doesn't even allow for any cheating. I did that. I never would have imagined that I would achieve this much success in life. Only if I had known that when I was younger, I wouldn't be so worried about the future as a child. How am I going to make it in this society when they're already hating on me as a little child? I did this. Glory, greatness. And thank you, Lord, for making me the top martial artist in American history, a man who doesn't have to lie about it or hide behind social norms, a man who can declare the glory of God and show people my achievements. It's not a miracle, but yet it does declare the glory of God. Thank you, Lord, for helping me show the world that Christianity is the true way, and not a single insightful observer that catches wind of my story will miss that incontrovertible and irrefutable fact. All glory to God. Thank you. What I have achieved reminds me of the Shaolin Temple. I've reached a chamber or a test that is far greater than any test that's ever been passed before. Fumed and drugged. And I've maintained my greatness. Over 100 victories, most of them sober before the drugging began. The vast majority of them, actually. And then, to secure my great place, the Top Martial Artist Challenge, the fuming, the drugging, the victory, the enemy's hiding. It's as if I'm being fumed and drugged heavily, and it's messing up my balance and everything. Kind of like Van Damme, I believe it was Kickboxer or Bloodsport, when that guy blows that stuff in his eyes and he goes blind and he beats him anyway. And I'm on the highest level of competition. And they're afraid. They're like, after you, man. They're afraid, man. Your enemy's afraid. I mean, that is true victory. But think about that. Imagine if you were me. Wouldn't you feel the same way? Your enemies are afraid to accept your challenge. Their fear has overcome their greed. Think about that. Most of these people are in debt, and their fear has overcome their desire to win $3,000. Think about it.